CareerTalk. My name is Kaylin Miller, and today we are here with DJ, an architect from, sorry, what was your company name again?
Joe's Pizza Rufinski.
Okay. So you're an architect. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
Sure, yeah. So I'm a registered architect. Our architectural department of our company, we're responsible for the design of buildings. So we get involved very early on in the process. We're involved sometimes in the site selection, some very early conceptual designs, sometimes helping the clients or building owners determine what types of space usages they want in their facilities. Then we move all the way through design drawings, design documents, basically putting together what the general public probably recognizes as a blueprint. Put together the blueprints that then we pass on to these guys, the contractors, who will start constructing the project. And then obviously during construction, we make periodic site visits, to observe things, make sure everything's being built according to plans, and help answer any questions or close any gaps in the drawings that we might have.
Did you have to go through any special training or get a certain degree to be able to do what you do?
So you do need to have a licensed, an accredited architectural degree. So I'm a graduate of Ball State University in Indiana, where our company's based out of. That's currently it's a 5-year program. When I was in school, it was a 4-year undergraduate plus a 2-year graduate program. So that's an accredited degree. Once you have that degree, to become licensed, there's a series of exams you need to take. Right now, I think it's 6 exams, and then you need to have approximately 3 years worth of internship hours. Once you pass all that, get your hours, pass your exams, then they give you your stamp. You become a registered architect.
What did your career path look like when you were moving up to where you are now?
During my professional career?
Yeah.
So I started in South Bend, Indiana, where I'm from. Started interning there during school. Worked at a smaller office there in downtown South Bend. In between my undergraduate and graduate years, I actually took about a year off. Did an extended internship. Worked in Indianapolis for about a year. Then after I graduated with my master's degree, I ended up coming back to South Bend and started at JPR. I've pretty much been there since I wrapped up grad school.
So what other things are you working on in the stadium? So I know that you draw everything that you do, so what exactly are we looking at today from what you've drawn?
We specialize a lot in minor league baseball stadium work. So the majority of the work we've done in the past and current work has been renovation projects. This is one of our first brand new ground up stadiums we pass on a lot of the principles of our renovation work. So a lot of what we do is we work with a lot of the minor league teams for new construction projects, additions, or renovation projects to help improve their stadiums. In addition to that, we do a lot of food service work, restaurant work, and then we really get a variety of different project types. So while this construction is ongoing, we also have other projects that are in the works now that we're working on design.
Do you remember how many stadiums you've worked on?
We're probably upwards of a dozen, maybe 15 stadiums at this point.
So if someone were interested in doing what you do, what would you tell them or give them any advice for looking into the future?
To become an architect?
Yeah.
I would say an art background is very helpful, or a construction background. To be honest, really one of those two paths, those types of students or that type of background really helps you excel in the profession. And honestly, it's those types of artists or construction workers. They have the interest in building design.
How long have you been an architect?
I've been licensed about 10 years now. Been working in architecture close to 15 years.
How has it changed over those 15 years?
Technology is becoming more and more at the forefront. We're moving from what we would call a two-dimensional graphic, line drawings on paper, to what they're calling BIM, Building Information Modeling. It's a 3D model. So this building, when we put these blueprints together, we actually constructed this building as a three-dimensional digital model to help us with our design work, and it's even helping the contractors now as they coordinate construction of the project. So that's been the biggest shift, and I think it's going to continue to shift in that direction. At some point in time, contractors may not be reading blueprints anymore. We might be handing them a digital model, and they can get all the information they need to build the structure off that model.
If you were talking to yourself like 20 years ago, would you have given yourself any advice for what you're doing right now?
Probably the biggest thing I would have done is I would have tried to convince my younger self to try to get into a little bit of construction work. I was, as I mentioned, I was an art student growing up, so I did a lot of drawing, a lot of artwork, and that's helped me tremendously in my profession. But I think it would have been very valuable to have some construction background and really see how this happens, how the pieces and parts go together, how you physically construct what we're drawing, because to have that knowledge is also as invaluable as being creative and having that drawing ability.
Since the last time that I've been here, a lot has changed. Are you guys on schedule? Are you falling behind? Are you ahead of schedule?
I believe the construction's on schedule, and it's been pretty impressive coming to see this project. This project we would refer to as close to a fast track project. It's a very expedited construction schedule. They really want to get this open next spring, summer. So it's been very impressive to see them moving so fast and making a lot of progress.
How long does a typical stadium take to build?
Typically it takes at least a full year, a full 12 months, and that's being very ambitious on the construction schedule. So again, this is a very fast track schedule, and I think they're doing a great job making fast progress.
So how long before were you working on the blueprints for this stadium before it was actually starting to get built?
I think the process for this project, again, this was also pretty quick turnaround from a design standpoint, but it was close to a year and a half. So when we started the project, it started as an idea, started as wanting to bring a new minor league stadium, to the city of Beloit, and then from there we went on, made sure the funding was secured, and we moved right into the building design. So that's a pretty quick time frame for building design. A lot of the times these projects can range from anywhere from 1 to 3 years of development and design, sometimes even longer before they actually start construction.
Is there anything that you do in your job right now that you wouldn't expect it to be a part of your job?
I think there's probably a lot that I didn't expect, just because when I decided to get into the field of architecture, I wasn't that familiar with the profession. I learned a lot of it on the job, but thinking that I was coming in to do design work, there is a large component of management, not just management with projects and schedules and the design, but managing people as well. As I'm the department head at our company, so part of my responsibility is to manage other individuals, manage our workload, make sure that our staff are allocated to the right projects. So I do find myself doing quite a bit of that, which isn't what I would have seen, coming into the profession.
Thank you so much for your time. I loved hearing about being an architect. It looks like we have a lot going on here today.
I appreciate the opportunity. It was my pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions about being an architect, you can contact CareerTalk or Jones Petrie Rafinsky. I have to look at you.